just when you thought it was safe to go back to podcasts, here we are back again, season 2, on another special episode of Scooch Ovaries. Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries. Robin, you're such a great dancer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially when I'm sitting down.
Well, what's that move called? The I'm churning the butter? Is that called the churn the butter move?
It's called the half cabbage patch because I'm sitting down trying to.
Oh, do you know the names of the actual dances, like Running Man and Cabbage Patch? And
I thought they're really the only two, and then there's like the Dougie, which I don't kind of know how to do.
No.
Yeah, but in general, no, I don't know a lot about dancing.
No, I remember the Hokey Pokey.
Yeah, you turn yourself around.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
We're back. It's Mary Tischbein and Robin Savage bringing you Scooch Ovaries goodness once a week, once again. And check out our shirts.
Fun lady shirts.
Fun lady shirts. Band name, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was such a ripoff of Chris Pine and Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah. We could even. Well, we'll save that shirt for the next episode. Already spoiling and teasing.
I'll have to wear something else because I do not have a specific Parks and Rec shirt, but I could glue some mini Parks and Rec. Where are they? I don't know where they are.
I would say you have a lot of Parks and Rep.
I got the mini Funko Pops from Catherine. This isn't what the episode's about.
Oh, we were supposed to go way deeper. Now we're talking about T-shirts and Parks and Recreation.
Which I started watching again because it's one of my big comfort shows. Yeah. And I just don't think I can watch another second of Kimmy Schmidt and Girls 5 Eva without throwing my TV out the sliding glass door because it's too much. It's my go to sleep stuff. And I'm like, ugh, not again. Because I'm doing the words back to them now. It's like Rocky Horror. So I need to get back to Parks and Rec because that's a good one. And also Superstore and The Good Place. I found 2 books that were written by, I think, Mike Shore about philosophy. And he explains how so much of the Good Places philosophy stuff was how it made its way onto the show and how they kind of made it, like a chewable vitamin for the masses.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely wasn't a dumb show. Like there was so much thought that was put into that. And I sort of felt like, what was the black guy's name with the glasses?
I don't know his name.
But I felt like he was kind of the conscience of the show. He was kind of like everything that he described. And it was, it was all real stuff. It kind of kept the show. He was like the rudder of keeping the show intact.
He really was. And that's a good tie-in for where we're going because every time he had a quandary or felt stress, his tummy hurt.
Oh, it did.
So that'll take us right to pancreatic cancer. What? Pancreatic cancer? Why are we talking about that? That's a downer. Did you not listen or watch episode 1?
Are you so behind? You don't even know why we're talking about pancreatic cancer? Come on, guys.
We gotta do the full government name. Pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. That took me a while to learn.
It did, yeah.
It did. And now that I don't have it anymore, I can say it. But it took a while.
Every time I hear that word adeno, I think of Fred Flintstone's dinosaur dog.
Adeno. Well, it's got an E in it, so that'll help you.
Okay, adeno.
I used to love to do the Dino bark. I'm going to back up now. That's not right. I used to be able to do the dog from Blue's Clues.
Oh, yeah. You do a good Chewbacca, too.
I don't.
Oh.
I can't roll my R's. I can't do Chewbacca.
No, then who am I thinking?
I do Elmo. Whoa.
Yeah, Elmo.
I do Elmo. We're mixing up Elmo and Chewbacca?
No, go ahead and do Elmo.
Na 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 Elmo's World.
I can do.
We lost them. They've all clicked off now.
I can do Grover's laugh. Oh! No, that wasn't that good. I used to be able to do it better.
I think I can do Ernie's. This reminds us that the Van Wezel will soon have Sesame Street Live coming to you from the grand stage.
Oh,
the
are
Van
they
Wezel
really?
Performing Arts Hall. Yeah, I think it's called, it's got Elmo in the Elmo's Got Moves, which I don't love the title.
When my boy was real little, before I even had my daughter, I took him. He would not remember this even if I asked him because he was a baby. I took him to see. Oh no, he's pregnant. But I took him to see Super Grover. It was like a Sesame Street Live, and yeah, he really liked it.
He had the cape.
Yeah, he had the cape. And
I liked Grover.
Yeah, I do too. I think I went with my neighbors who had twins at the time, and I mean, they still have twins. They're just not my neighbors anymore. And we were kind of like holding the babies, and they were like fascinated. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Okay, top 3 Sesame Street characters cannot include Muppets. Go.
Oh, cannot include Muppets?
No, Sesame Street.
I love me some Big Bird. I love me the trash can guy, Oscar the Grouch,
Trash can guy.
and probably Grover. I would say they're my top 3. How about you?
Cookie Monster.
Okay, he's good.
Elmo. And I'm gonna go with I don't remember her name, but she was like the hippie kid that came out after I was an adult, but she seemed really cool.
Janice?
No, she's from the Muppet Band.
Oh.
She might have had flower in her name.
Zoe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
She was like a little kid, but she was kind of like a hippie kid.
What was your favorite actual adult person on that show?
Oh, wow.
I like Maria, Luis, and Mr. Hooper.
Bob seemed like a preacher. Was his name Bob?
Yeah, I like
the white
Bob
guy.
too.
What was the name? What was the name of the grocer?
Mr. Hooper.
I like Mr. Hooper because he seemed like an old guy that got it.
Well, and then when Mr. Hooper died in real life, they expressed like they had a show about grief.
That's right.
Yeah. Boy,
See?
Sesame Street's great.
It was
Such a
like
great show.
the Blue of its day. Is it Bluey? Blue, whatever the Australian cartoon is now with the dogs.
Yes, I think that's got Bluey.
Because they do grief and stuff.
Yeah.
It's important. Grief should be everywhere. I mean, it's one of my favorite emotions. It's just a warm, familiar feeling. And it's not like it's just mine. We've all got it. That's the thing.
Oh, and we all have to go through it.
We all have to go through it.
Yeah. No one escapes this world without grief.
You also don't get out alive, which brings us to pancreatic cancer. We have buttons we could press that would do that, but by the time we find it, the timing wouldn't work. So as comedians, we know how important timing is. So he's going to do shit with our mouths.
Well, I think when we last left off episode 1, you had kind of talked about how you found out you had cancer. We talked about the chemo and everything that went with it. Mm-hmm. And I think we're to the point where you're going to talk about the actual surgery and recovery.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about that. So I go through this whole process from May of, well, really June, if you will, of 2025, all the way through to November, late November, is the first time I put eyes on live and in person an actual doctor. I just want to share that with you guys.
Wow.
It was all PAs and nurses and scope people.
That's kind of crazy when you
surgeons,
think about it.
but not the actual people who are going to treat my cancer. People who could put a stent in, people who could do an endoscope. These are doctors as well. Mm-hmm. But the doctor that's going to treat me, I finally meet. I have done a Zoom at this point with the doctor that's going to administer through his staff and make decisions for me about my chemo. That was Dr. Biaki. He was great, cool guy. Zoomed with him early on when we thought it was going to be chemo. And then it was decided, that's enough, we're doing surgery. And then I finally got to meet Dr. Malafa. He walks in the room. I'm like, who's this human teddy bear? And he's just positive and wonderful, and we're going to fix you. We're going to cure your cancer. It's curative. They use the word curative. Dr. Biaki used the word curative. This is part of the reason why I never really doubted it was going to go well, even though there's always a little rain cloud over Long Island, Maine. It's always a little drizzly. So
it's always spit and rain.
A little bit. So then when they called and said, hey, the chemo worked, your tumor has shrunk, we can do surgery, I thought, does it sometimes not work? And they said, oh, yeah. There's a small percentage of people this actually works on. There are people who get the chemo and it doesn't shrink.
Wow. Yeah.
Mine shrunk.
That's good because that really put your body through a lot. So
yeah,
it's good that it helped and did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, it did its stuff, with minimal side effects stuff. I mean, as much as I complain, neuropathy and stomach trouble are things I can live with.
Yeah. It's still not fun though.
Yeah, but I'm not dead, so
yeah,
yay me. So now we're going to do the surgery. We're very excited. We're going to do the surgery. And we meet with Dr. Malafa, and he says, 7 chemos is enough. We don't need an 8th. I need at least 6 weeks for you to get your body into fighting shape again, post-chemo, so you're strong enough for the surgery. I was like, great, no more chemo, love it. And then they had me meet with a nutritionist again who said, you got to have the shakes, you got to keep you, not the shakes, you got to have the drinks that would make you.
I'm like, they're called trimmers. Oh, you've got to have the protein shakes.
Well done. Boom, boom. I had to find ways to get protein in my body that were not things that could hold a foodborne illness. No cold cuts.
Oh, gosh.
Dairy's a yes and no. We don't know yet. Stay away from red meat. No raw anything. You can't have sushi. You can't have tartare. You can't have lox because that's smoked. That's not cooked.
Oh.
You got to stay away from anything that there's any chance that there could be some trouble. Even eggs can be troubling sometimes. And another one was the need to hydrate. I'm like, oh, with everyone all day with are you drinking enough? What? No, I'm not. And I have a witness to this because when I had the stent done, they did not give me a Valium, and Catherine was sitting next to me, and I had the IV, and I think I was in the second bag, and I was I was feeling good, and Catherine said, "Doesn't your body feel great right now?" I said, "It does." She says, "That's what it feels like to be hydrated."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I felt this before. I talk a big game, but I don't ever drink enough water. I don't. And you and Sarah and Moggy are much better, I think, with the water.
Yeah, I think it's like anything else. Like the more you start drinking, the more you just get used to it.
Yeah, and
something you drink all the time.
I went to get my oil change the other day, picked up a 20-ounce bottle of Fiji water, drank the whole thing in an hour. I was like, oh, I just need to have a cold bottle of Fiji water in my hand. Maybe I just don't. Sometimes it's the delivery system that makes you drink it. It's a complicated word for a water cup or a bottle.
Well, they are square, so it's easier to hold.
I love that about them. And it's
too.
like, I'm worth it. You feel like when you're holding a Fiji bottle, right? And you're like, that is small water. It's like, I think a little bit too highly of myself.
Well, life hack, I believe Walgreens, their bottle of water, you can get like a Walgreens generic that's also square.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But is it just filtered drinking water?
Not sure.
I'll look into it.
I remember getting it one time when my daughter was in elementary school, and she was like, I like these waters. It makes me feel like I'm on the Big Bang because they're square. And so I always remember that. Like when I go to Walgreens, I'm like, I got you your Big Bang water.
Do they drink square bottled water
I guess
on the
so.
Big Bang?
I never paid attention until like she said it. So
She's so attuned to the details of stuff. I didn't notice that.
yeah. So then after that, it was like one of those things that not that I go to Walgreens often, but when I did, I get a square bottle of water.
I love it. That's so cool. The only thing I remember from, what's the name of the show?
Big Bang.
The only thing I get from the Big Bang is penny, penny, penny. Like, because that's a reference. Yeah, and I love that about him. We've gone off again. We tend to.
So speaking of Big Bang Theory, you're getting prepped for pancreatic surgery.
Yeah. So eating mac and cheese because I don't listen. Stay away from processed food, frozen lunches, bagel bites, mac and cheese, a sandwich from Jimmy John's once in a while. I don't know why I don't feel great. I don't have any foodborne illness. I'm just eating too much sodium and processed food. The best thing to eat for everybody, cancer-free or cancer-full, is Whole Foods. Go to the source. Get the original one. I take a multi and I eat processed food. I'm 62. It's hard to, you know how happy I am when I have pasta? You can't measure it. It's like off the charts. It's like if you had like that earthquake thing, it'd be like you couldn't even see it. It'd just be quivering at the end like, I can't go any higher because I'm so happy because I'm eating pasta. And I don't know what it's like. I don't remember the first one. We're not Italian. Yeah. But I got to have a noodle. Just give me a fucking noodle.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, as far as like a food delivery system, you can get fettuccine on there. No, that's the
linguine
Alfredo.
with clam sauce. Yeah, I can have that.
The marinara, like all the delicious stuff gets into those noodles, so it gets it right in the pie hole quicker.
Yeah, and then I found out about Aunt Annie's, the little shell ones, and it's cheddar, but it's heaven because they have several different ones. But this one particular one I really love. Kraft is fine, doesn't a pinch, but if you can get an Aunt Annie's with the shells,
Good
holy
stuff.
shit. Yeah, but look, here we go again. Protein is very important for maintaining your muscle mass, which is what they wanted me to do. And they wanted me to get my nutrients so my body would be strong again because I was dancing in and around anemia and dancing in and around liver badness. So they're like, are you taking Tylenol? I'm like, no, I haven't taken Tylenol in years because I used to be addicted and got rebound headaches because I took Excedrin, which was a Tylenol, caffeine, and aspirin.
I never knew that. That's what Excedrin was?
That's what Excedrin was.
Oh.
And migraine Excedrin, I think, has got more stuff in it. And then now they have a thing that combines, I think, Tylenol and Advil or Motrin.
Oh. I did not know that.
You can get any combination of anything. They gave me, well, let's not get into the pain pills right now. So I'm gearing up for surgery. So Moggy comes down because Moggy has committed to staying with me
And Margie's your sister.
Well, if they're new, Moggy, Margaret, my twin sister, who I am older than by 5 minutes, she came down and said, well, she came down to visit when I was jaundiced, and she said, I will be here for your recovery, however long you need, I will be here. And I was like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
That's the gift that keeps on giving, because the assurance that someone would be here to take care of me, because when you live alone, you kind of think like, ooh. Yeah, because I even drove myself to my last chemo, and I was like, look at me, so brave. But it was like an ER, like, oh, poor me, I'm going to take myself. Like, stop it. I was fine. It doesn't put you in a place where you're not able to drive. You know, sometimes fatigue would hit, but not when you're on the steroids. So when you're done with chemo, you're like, I'm going to go flip a car and climb that building. I'll be right back. I'll drive home. I'll be fine. You know, you're good.
Yeah.
You drive home.
At least it was just the one time. And, you know, life happens. So.
No, and I really liked when people went with me because it really made the time go fast. And there was the really wonderful time when I was sitting there on Halloween, and Sarah took me that day, and she bought us both sparkly light up headpieces. I want to say were they cat's ears, Sarah? I don't remember. She's not watching this. She reads books.
And she might be seeing this 3 weeks after it's actually came out.
Yeah. I'll cut out this part and show her. We were sitting there and we were laughing, having a good time, and it's Halloween. So we're and Sarah's voice tends to be louder than a lot of people, where I'm kind of a whispering mumbler. So we're in there and we're cracking up, and then one of the nurses came in and said, dressed as a minion, if I may, because they all dressed as minions in the blood draw area. Yeah. And then in other places, they were different things. It was really great. And there was a guy in full Indiana Jones, who I then called Indy every time I saw him after that. Indy! Sorry, I went into the voice of one of the characters. So the nurse comes in, opens the window, opens the curtain, and goes, could you guys keep it down? Some people are complaining. And I'm like, who's complaining? Because
we're full of whimsy.
We had so much fun. The stalls don't go to its walls like cubicles, and they don't go to the ceiling, and then there's a curtain. There's no soundproof happening.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in a real private room. It just gives the illusion of it because there's a wall next to you with outlets and shit. So you think it's a wall, but it doesn't go to the ceiling. So we're bothering like everyone around us, and they're all old couples who don't want to be there either. But they've got minor cancers. I've got the mother load. I'm like, dude, you got a sprinkling of prostate cancer. Chill.
Guys, don't think about your own cancer. Think about my cancer.
Much bigger cancer than I had. The big one. These are jokes, so calm down and don't complain. All cancer is bad. No one likes cancer. Boo, cancer. I'm sorry, let me say that correctly. Fuck cancer. That's what we say. So that was a fun time to be shushed. And okay, so back to gearing up for surgery. Here we go. We're going to go have the surgery. We meet Dr. Malafa. He's like, yeah, you're going to be in the hospital a week, maybe 2. I'm like, what? You might go home with a drain. Who? What's a drain? Because you hear drain and you think old-timey, thick rubber cord coming out of you attached to a plastic bag like a colostomy bag because you think it's 1960.
Yeah.
I used to say 1950. I'm bumping it up and being more current. It's 1960.
You're so hip right now.
I am. But then you find out, no, it's a teeny tiny little hose. It's a teeny tiny little hose. Dear Richard Fader from Fort Lee, New Jersey. It's always something. So if you don't know what we're doing, I don't know why you're listening to this.
Rosanna Dana.
Yeah, the Gilderadna. No? I mean, patron saint of all that is funny. So it's a little teeny tiny hose, and at the end of it is a tiny little circle around what I called my juice box. And that's what the drain, that's where the liquid went. And it was in there, and it had like a little spigot on top that went like that. Mm-hmm. So when you drained it, you had to squeeze it. And then you had to keep your hand closed and then put the top back on, and then it had suction, and that's what made the liquid that's draining away from your body, because it's coming as from somewhere, but we don't know where the leak is, the coal is coming from inside the house. I mean, somebody should know where the liquid's coming from.
Yeah.
Is something unplugged? Is there a hole? Do we need to call the plumber? Was it a lead pipe and it burst? Why didn't you have PVC? I mixed up a lot of things there. So they left me with a drain. Rushing through the surgery. But anyway, he said, you're going to go home with a drain. I was like, ooh. And then you'll be home for 6 to 8 weeks. What? What do you do? So here's what we're going to do, Mary. We're going to remove your gallbladder. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Tischbeins don't traditionally do well with gallbladders. Move that out of here. We're going to take your bile duct. I'm like, huh? We're going to take a part of your duodenum. I don't know what that is. That's fine.
I don't even think I should have a demon inside me.
We're going to take some small intestine and part of your stomach, and then we're going to rewire it so it's like right there. So, and we're taking they didn't say a third, but it was either like a quarter or a third of my pancreas.
Okay.
Because the head of the pancreas was plugged into stuff, and that's where the tumor lived. And the tumor was 2 centimeters, then it was 1.6, then it was 3 when they actually removed it. That tumor was causing the bile duct to be obstructed, which is why they had to put a stent in. So I said, you're going to take the stent while you're in there, right? You're not going to leave. We're going to do a Swedish death cleaning, like don't leave anything behind.
Oh, I figured they'd keep the stent in there.
No, the stent's gone because everything it was attached to was gone.
Oh, it was working.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how good my bile duct is, because I think what I'm currently experiencing now might be because there may be a blockage still in my bile duct, but that's all to be seen later when we do some more tests in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, make sure I know you'll stay on top of that. Yeah.
That's all I do. It's what I do. So I'm going to have surgery for my cancer.
So there she was, all prepared for surgery for her cancer.
And I have a little time to prepare. So I don't do anything to prepare in my mind, because when I try to do that, it usually turns into I use the word ruminate. I get stuck. I'll get stuck on stuff.
Yeah.
And
just
I
an endless loop in your mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to look up Whipple surgery, because everyone who heard I had the cancer found that page within 5 minutes and said, you know what the treatment is? It's Whipple surgery and it's rough. I'm like, we're just going to talk about that later. Because I was quite nervous about being opened up, because my mom had a really bad experience with general anesthesia. This was going to be my first real experience with a long-term surgery.
Yeah.
There were lots of things I was concerned about. Turns out I'm a great patient. Everything went super fucking awesome. I'm the best. It's scheduled for January, was it January 6th or 7th? No, it was 7th. It's scheduled for January 7th, right? Because I wanted it to be January 6th.
You wanted it to be Insurrection Day.
Yeah, for what reason? I don't know why. Anyway, I go in and rah, let's do it. It's going to be great. Maugie's here. She has been tasked with letting everybody know I'm okay. And she let me know. I will send one text to the group, and then I'm not answering. So if there's follow-up questions, tell them to talk amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And not ding my phone every 5 minutes. So she's sitting in the waiting room and stuff. So January 7th comes. It's a Wednesday, I believe. I go in. They wake me up after the surgery. I said, I thought you guys might have to do that thing. They talked about how, you remember from the last episode, the tumor was a vein that was very important. Actually, it's all deep inside it. Deep inside it here is where the vein is. But they were going to possibly have to cut a piece of my aorta out of my neck, do a bypass there, so that they could use that vein to replace the one that's stuck to the tumor. And then they just hopefully this would heal well, but this is one of the things that you didn't want to have done because that can make complications after.
Yeah.
And it's not good. So they do all the stuff. They wake me up after the surgery. I go, how'd it go? Good, real good. I'm like, did you have to do the vein thing? Nope. But you guys got everything right. We're going to take you to recovery. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
They take me to recovery and I'm like, is it like 1 o'clock? It was like 3 hours.
Like, I'm the best patient there ever was.
Yeah, and they said it was like going to be like 6 to 8 hours surgery, sometimes 12.
Yeah.
So Margaret comes in and goes, so they couldn't do it. They found something on your liver. And I'm like, they found something on my liver. And then I'm thinking of the Veep episode where Julia Louis-Dreyfus is talking about a bad situation with her staff. And she goes, how bad is it? Is it gone to the liver bad? Because I'm like, because when you say liver, which is
worst case scenario.
Yeah, so it ends up there was a little growth there because when Dr. Malafa opened me up before he does the surgery and takes out all the stuff he wants to take out and rewires everybody, he always feels the liver up. That sounded bad, but he puts his fingers all around it and feels it, and he felt something on the back of my liver.
Yeah.
So he went in and he took a little piece of it, and he sent it to get biopsied, and they said, we don't know. So he went back and took the whole thing out and closed me up. So they did the surgery and stopped. Now, we don't call this an incomplete surgery or an unsuccessful surgery. We would call this the, what do I call it? The dry run.
The dry run.
Because we know how I'm going to react now because I've had, this is exactly what's going to happen, only it's going to be much longer and they're going to do a lot more stuff. So they've literally opened me up, like just to past the belly button.
Yeah.
And went, something there. We got to, no, we're not going to do. And then he came into the room. They put me in a room right away because I'm like, I don't have to go to ICU, right? Because they didn't finish. So we go right to a room and Dr. Malafa comes in and says, I found something, but I looked at it. I didn't like the look of it. So I sent it to the lab people, the biopsy labby people. And they said, we're not sure, but 99% it's nothing. But we're not sure. So we're going to do the thing where we make it culture for a couple days. So we'll have results in 3 days. And I'm like, fantastic. We're going to culture it. That's what? So I am like, what happened? And Margaret's like, so it's fine, right? You said you're like really sure it's nothing. He says, it's nothing. We just had to do it this way. But if it is something, we can't do the surgery. I said, so I need you to be honest with me because, I want to find out what this really means. If we don't go back in and this is something, and Margaret was like, no, we're not going there. We're staying positive. I'm like, I'm staying positive. I'm just asking the doctor a question.
Yeah.
Because I need my information. Because that's me. And he said, no, if it's something on your liver, then no, we're not going to do the surgery. I said, okay, because I'd really like it to be okay. Because as I've mentioned to you several times, I'm looking for a billboard when this is done. And I expect to be the person whose voice you hear when you call and say, when you dial Moffitt, hi, my name is Mary Tischbein. I had cancer and they cured me. I'm fine now. Because when I called, it was like the same lady. I'm like, oh my God, we've heard this lady's story. Could be someone else's story. This could be me. This could rotate once a week. And I complained to a couple nurses about that. And we laughed a lot about those kind of really inappropriate things that I would say to everyone. And everyone loved me, which was really fun too. And Margaret's like, it's your need to people please. I'm like,
Yepper.
Yeah, we're gonna say that's what that is. I do like to please people. Like making people laugh is kind of our oxygen.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Our currency.
Yeah, like
used to go around in the world and
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not going with my beauty and show them. So I'm in the hospital. I think just a couple of days. I come home and Margaret's like, I can't stay for the rescheduling. I got to go home. So she stays with me a whole week and takes care of me. I'm finally starting to feel kind of normal again. So now I've got to wait 3 weeks for another surgery. And then he calls and says, it's fine. It's benign. It's nothing. We're going back in January 21st. I'm like, oh, 2 weeks. I said, will it have healed enough? He said, we don't want it to heal too much because we want to open the same hole, the same rip. Yeah. And we also put like some stuff in there, which in my mind turned into cellophane because they put some stuff where they wrap some stuff and that's kind of holding everything in place. So when they reopen me, that'll be there. And I didn't really understand that part, but I also had something very cool. What?
You had a bunch of chip clips. We got like 3 chip clips in you, so we got to take those down and get to cutting.
Couldn't find a paper clip. My God. Yeah, they do this thing called, oh my God, it's a nerve blocker because they sew you up and then they push it together and then they glue it. I'm like, is that going to stick? And it does, and it heals, and it scabs, and it's horrible. So we go back January 21st. This time we mean it. This time we're serious. Like the Eagles tours, when hell freezes over. One more time. So they go back in, they do everything, they get everything, everybody comes over. Everything's great. We love it, waiting on the pathology, but we're very, very happy. Clean lines, we got everything. The nurses also let me know it probably doesn't feel great, even though I'm on nerve blocker and Dilaudid, which I highly recommend. You hit a button. It's not morphine, it's Dilaudid. I don't know the difference. It really works great. I'm taking the Dilaudid. I'm laying there. I'm feeling okay. They're like, you got to walk. I'm like, I do. They said, yeah, we really need you to pass gas. I'm like, what? Yeah, we need you to start a journal. I'm like, you want me to have a fart journal? Which I thought was fascinating. I was like, because it's just going to be like, and the first couple were like,
yeah.
I'm like, does that even count? They're like, yeah, you passed wind. I'm like, it's like 1950. So then when you go to the bathroom, there's like a fucking parade and they get the pirates in and everybody throws beads because they're so happy that you pooped. So eventually I did poop and I went home and the car ride hurt a little bit because it's bumpy on the roads. And now I've got hard drugs to take home because now I'm off of the IV medications and I'm allowed to take pills again. Here's a fun part though. For I want to say 3 or 4 days, I had a hose down my nose, like, up your nose with a rubber hose.
Yeah, to breathe. And
yeah. So that fucked me up and I couldn't swallow for weeks. So taking a pill made me throw up.
Oh, man.
Then they wanted to do a CAT scan before I went home, and the CAT scan required me to drink something, which tasted really bad. So I threw that up. That was a good time. It was a mess. Meanwhile, I'm wearing a hat because of my hair, but I'm wearing a gown. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I look like a crazy person. Then a dog came to visit and he sat on my foot and I'm like, I guess he likes me. Because I know it's one of those dogs that smells cancer if he's just there for comfort. And speaking of the pirates, one of the days we were in the hospital, they said, the pirates are here. Do you want to sign something because they may be on TV and you may appear on TV? Do you want to sign something? And I'm like, yes, bring me the paper. So I'm on Dilaudid. Once again, I'll share that. And I'm sitting up in the recliner and I'm like, I really don't want to deal with the pirates. Can someone unsign the thing? So I decided not to meet the pirates, but we went for a walk. As we're going for the walk, we see the pirates in the hallway. No one.
Oh, I just wanted to explain to anyone who's not in the Tampa area. Yeah. We have a festival called Gasparilla, and there's all sorts of. It used to just be a parade, and now it's like a night parade, a day parade, a children's parade, a 5K run, an arts festival. But Gasparilla came from a guy named Jose Gaspar. So anytime you're having like these Gasparilla parades, there are people everywhere dressed like pirates. So probably one of the crews who does like charitable stuff was at Moffat. So that's why there was pirates running around the hospital.
That probably sounded weird. People are like, what is she talking about? Is she on Dilaudid now?
Yeah. I think people in the Tampa area would understand, but
they would.
Not in the Tampa area may not understand.
And you're right. They visit children's hospitals and other hospitals all the time, and they try to raise the spirits. And I'm like, dude, that's why I'm here. I'm raising spirits all over the place. I'm high-fiving patients in the hallway, and we're all like, look at you go in your I'm gonna fall socks. It's we're all like being nice to each other. I talked to one girl in the hallway. I think her name was Jess, and her husband, and they were fans of Agatha all along. So we talked about that for a while. Margaret's like, I don't know what anyone's talking about. I said, so great. And then she brought me like a little pot with some, not pot like weed, but like a little pot with fake flowers in it. And that plays a major part in one of the episodes of Agatha where the Catherine Hahn character has a past with the Aubrey Plaza character. And Aubrey Plaza goes like this and a little fake flowers in her hand. And she's presenting it and she says, for you, m'lady. And Aubrey Plaza gives it to Catherine Hahn's character. And so I thought that was sweet. And, and Catherine brought me flowers and we had a great time. But the point is, we were in the hallway and I see the pirates and I go to Margaret, I didn't know it was going to be the girl pirates. I thought it was the boy pirates.
I thought it was the boy pirates too.
It was girl pirates. It was girl pirates. And I said, and a nurse came by later. I said, if I knew it was the girl pirates, I would have had them come in the room. And we all laughed. And I'm like, I don't know if everyone gets my gay jokes. And I'm like, and Margaret's like, everyone gets your gay jokes. We can see you. And I'm like, is it the hat? She's like, it's fine. They broke the code. I'm like, all right. So I had the surgery. I went home. Margaret took care of me. And it was a bit of a bear once the pain pills wore off.
Yeah.
But I took Tylenol. Margie didn't let me not walk. Margie didn't let me not drink water. She made me soup and whatever I wanted and felt up to. She cooked constantly. She shopped. Max came down a couple times during the visit. Corey came down, and they all just made
nephews.
sure. Oh, yes. Corey is my brother Tommy's son, and he came to visit for a weekend. Hi, Corey. He's coming again in a few weeks. And Maxwell is Margie's son, and he came to visit too. And we did puzzles. I did a lot of puzzles during my recovery and during chemo. And the actual recovery time was probably 4 to 5 weeks. And then I was able to do remote work from work, for work home. And then I went back to work. Surgery was January 21st. I walked back in the office on March 4th.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I am so amazed at everything, how quickly you healed and you were back at work. And I mean, not to take from the surgery because it was very, very serious surgery.
I was lucky.
But I was thinking, honestly, like now you would just start kind of getting back on your feet. The fact that here it is April and we're back to the podcast, that is phenomenal.
Yeah, it went well. And I don't think of it as something I did because of an inner strength. It just felt like the next thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, I leaned towards depression and darkness, which is why my Funko Pop of Sadness always had front and center. But she is now actually in the back, and Joy is leaning forward a bit. You'll notice. I've changed my Funko Pops a bit. Now it's the Lego set that Max put together of the characters from Inside Out. It's anxiety, depression, and joy. Well, anxiety, sadness, and joy. And Joy is leaning in the front there. And I changed my Disney Plus icon avatar from sadness to joy. And Leslie Knope is one of my names for Peacock. Because what are you doing? You got to pick the happy characters, the joyful characters.
Leslie Knope was
She's joy.
She's
literally joy.
She's literally joy. Well, Amy Poehler's joy, but Leslie Knope.
Yeah.
Even the character of Leslie Knope was always very positive leaning.
Yeah.
Always,
Yeah. She's an organized government lady with some binders. I loved her. I worked at the library. I was like, I have binders too. I had a whole wall of binders, and now I have a job at the theater, and we're digital. What are you going to do? But Mindy, I'm going to call you out because you got 6 pastel-colored Easter-themed binders. So,
and Mindy's her boss.
Yeah. Mindy's my boss. Thank God you're here to interpret for the people who don't know who I am. And I talked a little longer about the surgery than I originally intended to.
That's what we're here for.
But things will come and go. I have a couple of little silly jokes to share, and then we'll move on to something else. I wanted to share some stuff that happened. When I went in for the, was it the edema? Yes, when I went in for the stent, I met a nurse, and she became my friend, and her name is Kendra. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Corey, Kendra's wife. Very cool people. So Kendra was a great nurse. She came and sat with me a lot, and we talked, and it was awesome to have someone like that just to hang out with me in between visits and stuff. And that was with the stent. And then a week later, and I told her my story of how I didn't know I was jaundiced because my bathroom is yellow. And she laughed and laughed. And I was like, it's ridiculous. A week later, I was in the hospital because I had some swelling from the edema from the IVs they gave me for the stent. And I was in there and I was telling the nurse, I was here a week ago and I was super jaundiced and they put a stent in and I couldn't tell I was jaundiced because I just painted my bathroom yellow. Isn't that crazy? And she laughed. So she then goes out to the main desk where everybody is and she's telling that story. And Kendra wasn't on that day. She was in another department, but she walked through to say hi to people. And she said, the funniest lady is in there. She's killing me. She couldn't tell she was jaundiced because her bathroom was yellow. She said, Mary's here? And she came running in.
She's like, I know that story.
Yeah, because when I have material, I beat it to death. I'm sure if I ever get up and do stand-up again, the first thing I'm going to say is, cut the music. They took the pole down. I can't do my normal opening because I opened every single show with that same joke.
That was a good opening.
I think so. So I have food issues now. and I have to kind of check in with my body because I can't tell hunger from stomach trouble to I can't tell what if my brain's not reading hunger as hunger anymore.
What's it reading it as?
Nothing.
Oh.
Just nothing. So I know I have to eat on a schedule.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because my relationship with food was never healthy. And now it's very confusing. But I'm trying. I have to eat smaller meals because there's less stuff for to go to. And then sometimes it's like, uh-oh, and it just leaves immediately. Sorry, everybody. So I have to be careful with my body, and I have to check in with it a lot before I eat. Yeah. So it's like I have to talk to my body like it's a dog. And it's like, do you want a bagel? Do you want a bagel? Do you want a bagel? And like, and you tilt your head. Did you hear my neck crack when I did that?
No, I did not.
So I talk to my body like I'm a dog. And then I was like, do you want to go for a walk? No, I'm good. So Catherine, my friend Catherine Maloney, the comedian, our friend, she also mentioned that she was praying and telling everybody in the church to pray. And they were all praying. And they were praying for the surgery the first time and the second time and the recovery. So I imagine when they were praying for the second time for the surgery, this is what Jesus said, Mary Tischbein, again? Didn't we do this like 2 weeks ago? And St. Peter said, it's pronounced Tischbein. It rhymes with fish wine. You should like that. And yes, we did. That was a dry run, remember, January 7th. And Jesus said, that sounds familiar. I remember now. I get distracted, what with all the new season of Pitt coming out and all the Iran mishigas. So I know she's being sweet and laughing at reading my phone because that's how you should do comedy. And I think that all of my organs thought they got roofied because they woke up after the surgery. They were out for a fun night. And they all felt like they were, a little high and having a good time. And then they wake up the next day. They're like, where's Jimmy? The gallbladder, he's gone.
He was just right there. Now we can't find him.
So they think they got roofied. Yeah, I already mentioned the fart journal, but the reason you have to have a fart journal is because all farts are different. They're like snowflakes. Thank you for laughing.
I could see you taking your journal, putting it into a spreadsheet, and color coding it.
I thought about it.
I bet you did.
People said, how come you don't have all your results on a spreadsheet? And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I can't do it. Yeah, and that's why I don't have everything. I'm relying on a memory, which, again, chemo brain makes you forget stuff because it does some damage to lots of things, not just the stuff it's trying to kill.
Well, that's potent stuff they're putting in there. So absolutely, I could see there being all sorts of, I don't want to say repercussions, but side effects. That's the word I'm looking for.
It is side effects. I like, you know what I like to say? Like when a medication reacts with another medication, they call it contraindications.
Contraindications.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite words. I'm saying a big word at work lately, and they're making fun of me because I don't throw the big words around a lot. I don't want people to be intimidated by my intelligence. It's because when I say things like hyperbole, it comes out hyperbole. Because when you learn a word by reading, it means you read.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you learned how to say it. But I've been saying atrophy at work, and I'm finding so many places to slip it into conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Their skills are atrophying, things like that. The astronauts' legs are atrophying.
Well, they say that if you use too much Botox, your face muscles will atrophy, and then you'll have like a droopy face. So, kids, don't get the plastic surgery.
Follow our lead.
I got like a roadmap on my forehead now, but you know what? These puppies aren't going to atrophy ever.
No, you're fine. I'm worried because I always said I didn't show my wrinkles because I kept the skin stretched, and now it's not as stretchy because I lost 50 pounds. Great diet, horrible program. I do not recommend it.
0 out of 10.
0 on Yelp. Shall we do segments that didn't make it as segments?
Okay, yeah. As with last time, I only kind of have one. Maybe in the future dates, I'll have more.
Well, that's okay, Robin. What you got?
Has someone ever called the season of spring? Boing.
Again, no need to ever use the sound effects. We have Robin to make sound effects. That was great.
Thank you.
That. All right. Mine is our top 10 list for each of us individually, ways to strengthen your core.
Oh.
I don't exercise. Do you exercise?
Yeah, I've been going to the
shit.
gym.
I don't go. I just insulted Robin. I don't go to the gym.
I mean, I'm still kind of packing them on just at this age. But yeah, I both run and go to the gym.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Kind of like it because I feel like, and I don't know if we should save it for another time, but I like it because at least the gym I go to, they're real big on like stretching just as much as they are on heavy weights. And actually, I feel like I walk kind of taller. I feel like I feel younger. I may not look younger, but I feel younger. Just from doing the stretching.
Yeah.
Especially the hips and stuff.
Very important. So you do all those things where you like put one leg over the other and like face the other way and all those things. I always see those.
That.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to cut out my segment. I didn't make it as a segment because I did not mean to insult you. I made a joke about not doing sit-ups.
I was expecting
something funny.
I thought it was an actual question. And I was like, oh, no, that could be an actual segment if we're talking about exercise.
Well, it would be one-sided, much like my cancer talk. So it would be just you talking about exercise. We should do an episode where you talk about exercise because I don't even know what the current trends are. I do remember when people were starting to talk about stretching and the importance of stretching, but I didn't really pay much attention to it besides the fact that the one time I tried to do yoga in the living room here 25 years ago, I had a videotape and I watched it and I sat like an Indian. I sat crisscross applesauce. Jesus. I sat on the floor crisscross applesauce and immediately pulled a muscle in my inside of my thigh and it didn't feel normal for 2 months. And I said, yoga is dangerous because I was cold.
Yeah.
I was cold and I sat like that.
Well, this isn't, I mean, I've done yoga before, but in the gym, they just have like certain like little machines you can get on and stretch
bands.
this way and that way. These aren't, I think there are bands, but I don't know, they're like these little chairs and you stretch. And then there's a thing that looks like someone took a jungle gym and just cut it in half. And there's all these stretches you can do just by, and I love that. I mean, I just being that I'm over 50, I do try to do the heavy weights. I don't really enjoy the heavy weights, but I enjoy the stretches. So I do like that.
So
like a walk tall.
It's so important because the weight training will help build your core and your bones.
Yeah.
And your muscles and support you. And I'll bet if you were on the floor, you could get up.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. And then they keep saying that the healthier your legs are and the healthier your shins are, the longer that you'll live. Like, so everything's, they're now saying like focus on, and this is men and women, focus on your upper legs and definitely your shins.
So don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day, even though everyone hates leg day.
I'm skipping body day. When Margie was here, we walked in the hallway, and then when she left, I said, all done, which is a joke that Mindy would get because we have a project that we do every month. And the first time we did it together, I didn't know there were like 7 or 8 parts of it. And we did the first part, and I looked at her and said, all done, and got up to leave. And she said, we just started. I'm like, all done. So every once in a while at work, I'll hand her something, and she goes, all done. I'm like, fuck you. Because I'm a goofball at work.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, I hope that you will teach me more about stretching and stuff because you know what's current.
Well, I mean, I have a membership to the gym now, and then I don't know if it's my algorithm or my phone knows I'm going to the gym, but I get all sorts of like Instagram stuff about the gym, and so then I favor it. So then I do kind of learn like, especially stuff that where it opens up the hips and stuff. That's where I get a little rusty, like the Tin Man.
It's so important, though.
Yeah. So,
and you don't have any shoulder or bursitis, arm issues, right? You've never had that.
Sometimes a little
shoulder
crackly, but no, not too bad.
Good. I think the key isn't so much the supplements; it's the moving.
Yeah.
You know,
and you just got to make sure if you take a supplement, you're taking the right supplement, and it's always ask your doctor's kids.
Yeah, so I stopped asking my doctor and I just started taking one that's a multi for kids with iron because I saw somebody say it was tolerable.
Oh, okay.
I'm all about tolerance.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, that meant it would be a way I could get more iron to help the hematocrit and the hemoglobin and my anemia because someone had suggested, one of the PAs of my general practitioner suggested I start taking iron. And I'm like, nay, no, iron causes constipation. She said, there's ways to get it that it won't. I'm like, So I found a post that said, I take the children's vitamin with iron. So I immediately ordered cherry flavored gummies because I'm 12.
They'd be more mild maybe if they were for kids. They wouldn't be as strong as a dose.
Because I'm not looking for a big, strong dose of folate and iron. I'm just looking for a supplement. And I was taking a B6 and a multi because they said I could. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's not helping. So let me just try to eat a more balanced diet, add dark green leafies and lentils because those will be a great way because I'm staying away from red meat. So dark green leafy vegetables and lentils will help me build up my iron. And I figure if I do that, and then if I have the multivitamin with iron, that will help. But also, I don't fucking know. You do the best you can, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Each day is a surprise. Like, what'll happen today? I wonder how today will go. But the more important phrase is each day is a gift.
Each day is a gift. It really is.
That's why they call it the present.
That's why they call it the present.
Yeah, I'll do better with the segments that didn't make it as segments in the future.
I'll do. Yeah, maybe my brain wasn't turned on. So.
No, I looked at you and I was like, oh, just insulted her. Look at her expression. She actually does exercise. I forgot.
I was trying to think when you said that. I was like, oh, is that a real segment? And then we could later do it. So
you think I would be in a segment called 10 Ways to Strengthen Your Core? You think I have 10 ways to strengthen my core? If it's my core of humor or my core of my like life philosophy, we're good there. Because my emotional intelligence is high. I have confidence in that. I don't have confidence in my physical body because it kind of betrayed me a little bit, but that's okay.
We're having a fight.
Yeah, we're on a break.
Yeah,
like Ross and Rachel, my body and I were on a break, which is hard because we live together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Sometimes I surprise myself with something that comes out of my mouth, but it's just it's a weird thing we've gone through, and I dragged all my people along with me. And thanks again for being there to
that's what friends are for.
Make me laugh.
That's how it do be. We're
Yeah,
doing the podcast, and
yeah,
this might end up being 2 episodes, but you will see us for other episodes in different shirts.
You will in the same hair, and we might have 2 episodes out of what we've Look, season 2 is going to be different from season 1.
Yeah, that's how it works. And I don't know if you guys know this, we have a new look, a new studio.
You like it?
It's purty.
Put it in the comments. Like, what the fuck? Because we don't have the cappuccino colored walls anymore. Now we're with a light blue, which probably looks white on the videotape. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
Yeah. Someone will, when we give it to the post-production team, then we'll have them review the color saturation. I don't know what I'm talking about. Someone's going to have to teach me Premiere Pro again. I forgot everything. Everything.
Yeah, we're on no timeline.
Yeah, we're on a timeline. We want to get this out to you guys. See, it's like she's still talking about the cancer. That was 4 years ago. We want to get this out to you guys in the next month. You will hopefully be commenting and enjoying and laughing and sharing some silly episodes of season 2 of Scooch Ovaries very soon with all your people. And again, just a real quick reminder, listen to your body, pay attention to your body. Don't ignore stuff that you know is wrong, and don't let a doctor or a medical professional tell you, go for a walk, have some water. Are you eating right? Maybe you need some medication. Ask for further tests. You can get the tests. You don't have to say, I accept what you just said to me. You actually are able to push back until you get the answers you need. And if those answers are there was nothing wrong, good, we've confirmed it.
Yeah.
I'll go for a fucking walk and have a glass of water. Sit down,
Yeah.
But if it's trouble, you want to get busy.
Yeah.
And if you do find out that you get cancer, you need to call Moffitt. And if you live in another state, feel free to come on down because all the other fucking Northerners did with their cancer and they took up all my appointments and it put me off a little bit. But just follow up, listen to your body, always listen to your body, and go for a walk and have a drink of water. What do you think, Robin?
I think that sounds fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like we should go for a walk and have a drink of water now, too.
I definitely need a drink of water.
Yeah. Want to go for a walk?
We can. Let's go for a walk. Who wants to go for a walk?
No, I'm good.
All right. I guess we'll wind up this episode of
Scooch Ovaries! Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries!